Hey guys, what's up? It is Dr. Marcy. This is Tuesday, July 20th, and we're going live to talk about habits of health. Talking about habits of health, there are a few things that I think of when I think about your habits of health. So, sleep, nutrition, self-care and self-love, movement, community, spirituality, mental clarity. So 7 things that are important for you when we're talking about habits of health. The first one that we are going to talk about today is sleep. Many of us do not get enough sleep. So I want to have you talk about how much sleep you get in the chat. And I'm going to activate this poll so that you can just answer the question simply, and it'll kind of give us a score as to who's getting what kind of sleep. Myself, I usually get that 6 to 7 hours of sleep, and I try to get 7 to 9 a couple of days a week, but it doesn't always happen. One of the things that I've started doing is I do wear an Oura ring. And the reason that I wear this, it's supposed to go on either the middle finger, index finger, thumb. Mine actually fits on all three. The reason that I wear it is it gives me some pretty good data about also what my sleep quality was. So if you're looking at what was your sleep quality like and where could you make changes, it'll give you that as well. And then it also tells me throughout the day how my heart rate variability looks and if I need to change something. So today, when I woke up, I actually had trouble waking up this morning, which is not usual for me. And so I started looking at how my sleep looked. And it said that my heart rate actually stayed above 50, which for me is pretty high when I'm sleeping. My average heart rate when I'm sleeping is somewhere between 38 and 42. I do tend to have a lower heart rate, and so when I saw that it stayed above 50 for the entire night, I was actually a little bit concerned. And so I just kind of asked myself, all right, what should I do instead of going crazy and doing a heavy leg day? So I went to the gym still because movement is super important. It makes me feel better. It helps my mental clarity, and it also helps me in general feel better about my body, knowing that it still has the strength, even when I didn't get good sleep, to pull me through the day. So I went to the gym and I did a workout that was super easy, super lightweight, mostly body weight, and just had to do with movement, not having to do anything with strength or power. Why do we need 7 to 8 hours of sleep? 7 to 9 hours of sleep. There's a couple of different reasons. Number one, your body does all of its restore, repair, and healing work when you're asleep. It doesn't get a chance to do that when you're awake because there's constantly input going in and it has to focus on those things. Number two, our brain gets to reset. When your brain is asleep, it actually helps repair the neurons in the brain and helps restore normal function in the brain. I don't know if you've seen the studies, but there are studies out there that say that someone that is sleep deprived is more dangerous than someone that has been drinking while driving. So if you have chronic sleep deprivation, you are more of a risk to me on the road than someone who's been drinking and got behind the wheel of the car. Take a minute to process that and then think, what do I need to change? The most common things about sleep that we can do is start with, I'm sorry, I'm going to type these as I'm going in the chat. Start with low lights at night. And what that means is table lamps. Turn off the overhead lights about 3 hours before you're going to bed. Okay? Don't drink caffeine after 12 p.m. or whatever noon looks like in your day. So if you're somebody who does the night shift because you work nights at the hospital, Whatever noon is, whatever your lunchtime is, stop drinking caffeine. Number 3, I'm going to pull these out. You can use these throughout the day, but especially if you're going to be using any electronic devices after 3 p.m. These are a less expensive pair. You can get more expensive pairs. Your vision plan may even cover this, but blue light blocking glasses. And these are important because the blue light actually stimulates your brain to wake back up. And you want to make sure that you have a way to block those rays from your brain. And you can find them in all kinds of different styles. And I have a pair that look like old Ray-Bans, that kind of stuff as well, and different price points. So if your insurance will cover, even if you don't, like I don't wear prescription glasses or contacts, but my insurance will cover a pair of glasses for me every year regardless. And so I can get just a cheap pair of frames with the blue light blocking filter, and my insurance covers that. So just something to think about is those blue light filtering glasses. And then I think, I lost my ability to write comments. What happened to it? I hate it when that happens to me. Number 4, stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. And the reason you want to do that is because your body takes a lot of energy to actually digest your food. And if you've got it loaded down with food and 20 minutes later you go get in bed, your sleep will not be as smooth. It will be disrupted, and you may even have to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. In terms of how well you sleep, especially if you're changing time zones, altitudes, that kind of thing, hydration. 80 ounces a day of fluid, that's mostly water. That can be other liquids as well, like you can drink an herbal tea, you can drink flavored waters, those kinds of things, and even if you wanted a glass of juice, but you want it to mostly be things that your body doesn't have to work to digest. So 80 ounces of mostly water. If you can get it to all be water, that would be fantastic, and then you can drink other fluids. Again, though, make sure you stop that caffeine before noon. Other things that you can do for health: stop using electronics, including your phone and Kindle, iPad, 2 hours before bed. Even if you're using the blue light blocking glasses, these things are a huge stimulant to your brain. We have become so dependent on these devices that we almost don't know how to be without them. And it's really important to take those breaks or fasts from electronics. Speaking of fasting, and we talked about stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed, there is some research to suggest that fasting, intermittent fasting done where you eat all of your calories between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. or 7 a.m. and 3 p.m., 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. is significantly better for your health than if you do the 10 to 6, noon to 8, something like that. Your blood sugar levels will decrease even farther. Your insulin levels will drop faster. Your insulin resistance goes down, cholesterol significantly decreases. So those are all things that you might want to think about when we're talking about fasting. So if you're fasting from devices, also fast from food. And then other things that you can do for sleep: make sure that the room is cool enough. There is some research to suggest that the room temp should be between 68 degrees and 72 degrees. Some people need it cooler, and that's okay. If you're somebody who really likes to use a lot of blankets, make sure that you have the room a little bit cooler. You're going to sleep better. And then try and keep your room as device free as possible. The only device in my room is a table lamp, overhead lamp. We have a ceiling fan, and then an alarm clock for my husband, alarm clock for myself. So as device free as possible, because then you won't be tempted to use the device and you won't use it as a distraction. So when we're talking about these habits of health, make sure that sleep is a priority for you. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday, and I will chat to you later.